What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Rowdy Player One channel. I am Rowdy, and today we have got the monthly recap for March. This was what a month. I don't really know what else to say. I got a few books read, and this is one of the best months I've ever had reading, and also one of the absolute worst months ever as far as being super frustrated. So we'll talk a little about that. I had, at the beginning of the month, my work changed and I ended up working a whole bunch of days in a row and it completely fried me. I was absolutely done. I wanted to be done with reading and the channel, and I was frustrated. But luckily, my wife and a couple of my author friends talked me off the edge, and I truly appreciate it because I don't know what was wrong. I couldn't get any reading done, and I was so upset about it, and I was getting behind, and I think it got to my head so much that I was just like, what am I doing? It's like the whole point of having this channel is for fun, getting to talk to people and interact, and getting to do interviews and stuff like that. And I hadn't done any interviews this month at all until past 2 days. Previously, before, well, 3 days ago now. But yeah, it it was a bad month, and things went bad. But then it all turned around. I got a few days off work. I got, just to reset my headspace, and things are flowing. So before we get started on everything I did, get you a nice, as they say, frosty beverage. I have the Sun-Kissed Orange, zero sugar. Never drink your calories. So good. All right, so what did I get done this week or this month? First thing I read for the month was The Whisper That Replaced God by Timothy Wolfe. This was awesome. Lord Mute, one of my favorite characters there is. I mean, he so awesome. He just, I don't know. It's an interesting way to write a book, and Timothy did a fantastic job with that. An unreliable narrator type, and it was funny, and some great like daily like references to today's times. It was so good. I ended up giving this a 5 star. It's a novella, fantastic. Highly recommend go read it. And book two of that is also out now and didn't come out that long ago. So, and it's also a novella. So I highly suggest getting right to it. I will be reading that hopefully here coming up shortly. After that, we got to Morning Star. Knocked Morning Star out. I immersive read this. By Pierce Brown. This is also, I think, a 5 star book. It is not as good as, in my personal opinion, it's not as good as Golden Sun, but it's pretty doggone close. I mean, they're like really like neck and neck with each other. But I would say Golden Sun is a smidge a smidge better. But the first few chapters of this book and what Darrow is going through is crazy. But it and the ending's wild too, just like Golden Sun, but not obviously not the same thing as Golden Sun. But the ending of this is crazy. Some things you figure out stuff in this book that you had no clue about. So good. But Golden Sun or Morning Star also a 5 star read without question. Then we went to Darkness and Light by Ryan Cahill. This is book two in the Bound and the Broken. It's this right here just continues on after the first book, and it's great. It's really good. Things are really starting to pick up in this one. I gave this one a 4.5 star. Like it's not quite there yet for me to where it's like I'm talking awesome. Now, supposedly of War and Ruin is that book, but I've really enjoyed this series so far. I've read, let's see, The Fall, and then Of Blood and Fire, and then this, and oh man, I've so enjoyed getting this Dragon Rider fantasy is so good, and man, I'm just ready for it to just take off and be just incredible. And I know it's going to happen because it's great. Don't get me wrong, it's not super top tier yet, but it's getting there. So, Of War and Ruin, or I mean, Of Darkness and Light, I gave that a 4.5 star. Then we had The Sword of Kagan by M.L. Wong. And I actually just got done with a buddy read. And if you want to go back and watch that on my channel, it was me and Kevin Toll Reads. This is the most frustratingly great books I possibly have ever read. Like, I loved this. I gave this a 4.5 stars as well. And it's so good. The structure of this book is one of the craziest things I've ever read. I mean, it the whole first half of the book leads up to one battle, and then the whole second half of the book is the aftermath of that battle. But it's not just that. Like, there is emotional things that are going on through this whole process. And the main couple of the main characters, like, they frustrate me so bad on just like, why are you not standing up for yourself, and why are you letting these things happen, and just the delusion that goes on in this book on how the people of Kagan think that there's nothing else going on in this world. It's just whatever the empire says, that's what's happening. And man, this book is something else, and I think it's going to stick with me a long time, about like Lonesome Dove did in January and February of me. I may end up bumping this up later, but right now it's a 4.5 because it is so good. If you've not read this, I highly suggest you read it. I mean, for a standalone, and this thing should not be a standalone. I'll leave it at that. It's great, but The Sword of Kagan. 4.5 for me on that. Then on my Kindle, I actually got an arc for The Veil by E.H. Bradley. And it is a horror novel. It's fantastic. My goodness. It's not out yet. It comes out, I think, in June. I think that's right. I'm not positive, but I think it's in June. But got it read, and my goodness, I absolutely love that book. It's got so many elements that it reminds me of, in a way, of The Boys. Just, I don't want to spoil too much on it, but it reminds me of a little bit of The Boys, and when you read it, you'll understand. And then it reminds me of Saw. In certain sections and all that. I don't want to give it away, but oh my gosh, it's fantastic. But if I could put it between two, it would be it would be a little bit of The Boys and a little bit of Saw. And just, when you get a chance, read that book because it is so good. But let's see. So that's what I got read. So we're going to go now to the book of the month. And the book of the month is going to have to be The Veil. I've got to say it is, because Morningstar wasn't quite as good as Golden Sun, and Golden Sun was my book of the month in February. Sword of Kagan is fantastic too. That's this right here is one of the toughest months I've ever had on picking, and it would be between Golden Sun, the Sword of Kagan, and The Veil to me. But just an overall, I'm gonna say The Veil, because I'm really getting into horror books here lately, and you'll see by stuff I've got coming up to read. But it's, man, I don't know what it is. It's just hitting me at the right time, I guess, and I'm really enjoying it. It's so, so good. So, yes, Book of the Month, The Veil by E.H. Bradley. So, what am I going to read for the month of April? Well, I'm a little behind, but hopefully, this is going to be the biggest month I've ever had, ever, and probably ever will have for 1 month of reading. And I don't even know if I can do it, but I'm going to do my dangest to get it done. So I was supposed to read this last month, but like I said, things didn't happen in March. So I'm behind. So I've got to read The Exile by Ryan Cahill. That will be coming up very soon. So hoping to knock it out. And it's not that bad. It's a little less than 150 pages, I think. So I'll get that finished. I'm excited to get to it. Then I have Ghost Story and Death Cult and Janelle Shiki. I think I'm right on that. If I'm wrong, Janelle, let me know. But I will never get your name right, so I'm sorry. I'll also have The Ark of the Clatterman, her newest book that's coming out soon as well. So all three of these are novellas. They're all, I think, less than 150 pages. So I'm going to try to knock all three of them out next week, I think. Actually, this week. I'm going to do my best to just hammer through these, and I'll explain why in a little bit. After that, we are going to go with, or I say, I'm just going to go down the list. The Freeing of the World by A.M. Knight. This is book 1 of a 5-book series, and I think the first book comes out in April, and I think the next two are May. Then the fourth one is June, and the last one is in July. So April, I'm going to try to knock out The Freeing of the World. I'm pretty excited to get into this. It looks really good, and A.M. Knight, super cool guy. So looking forward to reading that. Then we have Bloodbound by G.J. Terrell. And I'm so ready to get back into this world. I absolutely loved book 1, which was Bloodwoven. And then we've got Bloodbound is book 2. And then book 3, Bloodless, is about to come out as well. So I've really got to get caught up and read book 2. And man, this Lynn and getting to go with his stuff and read on about his story and what all else goes on in this world, I'm excited about. And this magic system is very different, and it intrigues me a great deal. So I really enjoyed book 1, and I think book 2 is probably going to be better. So looking forward to that. Let's see, what do we got next? Yes. I'm going to try to read another novella, The Inkling of Flame by Z.B. Steele. Looking really forward to, I've heard amazing things about that. And then he's got another book that just come out, I think. Is it Whisper of Storms, something like that. I think that's right. But yes, wanting to get into a little Z.B. Steele. He's going to try to have him on the channel later on in the month or in May. We'll see. But yes, The Inkling of Flame. Then we also have Discovery by J.A.J. Minton, which is Talking Story. Going to try to get that done this month and hoping to have John on the channel sometime in the end of April or May, or we'll see. Hopefully I can get that done because I really want to read it. Man, it sounds awesome. I've heard nothing but how amazing it is. I mean, it's a horror novel as well. And so I don't know, that stuff's really piquing my interest right now for some reason. So is Janelle's work, and I'm really excited about it. Then we're going to go, I've got 2 immersive reads I'm going to do. First one is Before They're Hanged, Joe Abercrombie. I'm going to immersive read this because I need to get back to this series so bad. I need some more Glocta and Logan Nine Fingers. They're by far my two favorite characters in this, and I'm so ready to get back to the First Law trilogy and just continue on because I want to read this so bad. Looking really excited about getting to this, and then I think the Devils comes out in May, so I'm gonna try to pick up that Bound in the or the I'm gonna try to pick up that Broken Binding edition of the Devils because it looks amazing. So this right here, I know I've got a ton of books left in this. I think there's this first trilogy, then there's 3 standalones, and then the other 3 in the trilogy, and then there may be something else that's part of it. So excited to get to that. And then finally, Empire of Silence by Christopher Rocchio. I've got this beautiful broken binding edition of this. Absolutely love these. I am going to actually be on, be Josh's channel. We are buddy reading it, already overbooked. I should be on his channel at the end of the month sometimes, what I'm guessing. The end of April, and which we ain't got that set up yet, but we will. So I'm going to immersive read this as well. I've been dying to get to this book or this whole series. I've got the first 3 sitting over there, and then man, I've heard book 3 is just absolutely mind blowing. So I really can't wait to start this. I've been putting it off and putting it off. Josh came to me in January and DM me about doing it, and I was like, that'll work because I actually wanted to start it in probably January or February, but it worked out. April's the time to start it, and excited to get it done. So that is the plan on all the books. I think altogether that's 10. It's 7 and then 4 novellas, 6 and then 3 novellas, or 4 novellas. There we go. I don't know if I can do it, but the main reason that I'm trying to do that many is in May, I'll be out of town for, golly, 9 or 10 days, and there will be not. If I read anything, it'll be a miracle because me and my family are going to Universal in Florida for the first time ever, and I'm really looking forward to that. And so, really excited about checking that out. And I know by the time I walk through a park for 7-8 hours in a day, I sure as heck ain't going to come back to a hotel and read. So I might bring my Kindle and look at stuff, but I'm probably not going to bring any books or anything. So that is the plan on that. So I'm going to try to get a little ahead if I can in this month, to where next month it will definitely be way less. So, all right, so let's go to most popular videos of last month, the month of March. And my by far most popular video was my top 5 books of all time. Really got in good engagement in that and got a lot of views. I was happy about that. And I wanted to do 5 because I hadn't read just a ton of stuff. But next year I'll definitely, be able to update that list, and we will without question have a top 10. So really enjoyed that. If you hadn't watched that top 5 video, please go back and do. It was great. Then also my February book haul. I think everyone loves book haul and book mail videos. They always do pretty good. And then my last one was the April TBR, which I've got a ton of stuff to read in April, so I could totally understand. I've got a lot of stuff, and people love to see what you're about to read. And like I normally say on all my TBR videos, if anyone's ever interested in doing buddy reads on this, or we can chat or do whatever, come up with a live together, we'll figure it out. I'm always down for something like that. But then a couple things left. Channel goals for April are going to be, we're going to do more interviews finally. Did not do anything in March except for, like I said, on past Sunday, we did the buddy read with me and Kevin Toll Reads on my channel for the Sword of Kaigen. And then that Saturday, the day before that, I was actually on the Bearded Book Beast channel with Chris, and man, we talked for like an hour and 45 minutes, I think. I mean, we talked before it started, we talked during it, and then we got off, and then we talked after it. So we had a great conversation, just all about, you know, BookTube and books and just a bunch of random stuff, and it was great. So that's on his channel if y'all want to go check that out. He's a great guy. Kevin Toll is also as well. He's got a fantastic channel. And heck, Josh from Already Overbooked as well. So there's some upcoming videos and interviews I've got coming up. So I'll just tell you what's coming up here very soon. This coming up Sunday, April 6th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, E.H. Bradley will be on my channel. And we're going to interview him and talk about The Ranger, which I have over there. We're going to talk about The Veil, which he's got coming out later on in a few months. And man, do I have questions and cannot wait to chat with him about it, because I'm so looking forward to that and getting to talk to him. And then Tuesday of next week, April 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern, we've got Janelle Shiki coming on. And that's the main reason why I'm trying to knock out all three of these novellas. You know, these two, Death Cult, Ghost Room, and The Glider Man, because I want to talk to her. She is the sweetest, one of the absolute sweetest people I know on X. She's fantastic. And from what I understand, she writes some dark stuff. So kind of makes me question what's going on over there. And I also heard that her husband's a huge gamer, which is fantastic. So we can talk about that too. But that's just two I've got coming up in the coming week. And I think I'm going to come out with my top 5 or top 10, because I've read, I think, more indie books than I have about anything else in this past little over a year. Top 10 indie books of all time will be coming very soon. And don't really know from there. We'll see what piques my interest. We will see. So, but yeah, other than that, that's really all I've got. I know this was a long episode, but of the monthly recap, but I had a lot to say. I had a lot going on this past month. So, anyways, other than that, if you would leave a comment, it's awesome. I think I respond to everybody that writes me or has questions or anything. If you would like the video, that shares it out to everybody. And then also subscribe to the channel, because it helps us grow and gets more people to get to chat with and hang out and do all that other great stuff. So other than that, y'all have a good day. Bye.